Auntie.
I'm just saying, we should be rolling. But no, no, don't look over here. Look over there. Look over there. Let me.
Let you get it together.
Mind your fucking business. Right?
Oh my gosh! All right, this is gonna be fun. I think this is definitely gonna be fun.
Oh boy!
All right, so I think this should go like that, and like the bloopers, like bloop bloop bloop. I want bloopers.
Okay.
Bloop 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 bloop.
Duh, that's taking a shit sound.
That is not taking a shit.
Bloop bloop. That's how shit sound when it drop in the toilet. Dog. Like, what are you talking about?
Wait, how do I start again? Hey y'all. Wait, are you doing it? Are we going? No?
You're on.
Now? Okay.
Now.
Oh, okay. Good. We weren't recording all that time. It was just cool. Hey y'all, it's Bernice here, your favorite auntie, and we're welcoming you to the Auntie Chronicles. On today's episode of, we're going to call it Venus versus Mars, we have the amazing Emmy Award winning Jaxon, okay, here with us to have this amazing conversation. Hey, Jax.
What's up, man? Unbelievable. Anyway, Jaxon 1616, creator and host of One Mic Stand, Emmy, whatever, all that shit. Not Jax Productions. What am I supposed to be? What's my new shit? Oh yeah, my new shit is, before we start the conversation, I just would like everybody to know, I get no pussy.
Oh my God.
My dick is small.
Hey.
I get no money. I hate my mom. I hate my sister, even though I'm an only child. I just want to get all of the insults out of the way first so we can have a real conversation. All right, proceed.
Welcome to the stage. Well, okay then.
Yeah, man.
So, Jax, are
What
you
up?
single?
I am.
Do you have kids?
I don't. I pull out and I strap up.
Ladies.
And I strap up and pull out, and I like to projectile my nut on somewhere on the woman's body, just so I can make sure all my kids is right there, because I don't need them in the world.
No, you don't want no kids?
I don't know yet, man. I mean, I don't know if I do now. Like when I was younger, it was like a definite, because like, you know, when you're younger, you kind of like have your you feel like you have your life like planned out, like how it's supposed to go, and you know you're supposed to hit certain benchmarks based on like how old you are and what your age is, and you know when those things kind of start eroding and like your benchmarks, you don't be hitting them, and your checkpoints and shit, because you know like you just like life happens, you know, you just live life, and I just feel like, you know, as I've gotten older, my mentality on a lot of things has changed. My idea of ideal has changed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm not anti-kids, but I'm not shooting the club up either.
Okay.
You feel me?
Why has your ideals changed?
Because in a lot of ways, like my life isn't what I thought it was gonna be. I thought I was gonna be a Major League Baseball player. I played minor league baseball, but I didn't have millions of dollars to go with it. You know what I'm saying? So I thought my life was going to be basically millionaire athlete. I'm going to fuck a couple of groupies, and then I'm going to get married, and then I'm going to have one son, and then he's going to be just like me. He's going to play baseball. He's going to be better than me. And then, you know, whatever happens after that is like all icing on the cake. But it didn't really happen like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I had my I feel like all athletes kind of have like their own very specific rocky journey, and nobody ever really gives it any like credit, because the athletes that we all know are all famous, which means they're all rich. So as a society, we really don't give a fuck about the problems that people with money go through. Like, we don't look at them as human no more. You know what I'm saying? But for every athlete that made it, like, there's like hundreds of thousands who didn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, but we're like kind of get diminished back down to being like regular human beings. So it just changes a lot. Like your mentality just changes a lot.
Is
You know what I'm
there
saying?
something wrong with being, not the millionaire athlete?
I mean, if something wrong with it, if that's the only thing that you ever really aspired to be,
Okay.
it'll be like whatever it is that you wanted to do when you grow up, and then life happened to cause you to not be that.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you would, you might look at yourself in the mirror a little bit different. Like like the people around you might not think that you're a failure, but you might think that you might not even think that you're a failure, but you might think that you failed at that particular goal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How does that play into dating? How you date?
First of all, I don't really date.
Explain.
I don't really like, dates is like when you, like, you approach a woman and you like, hey, how you doing? And, they respond back to you like with a smile or some shit. First of all, we're in Philly, so that part of the scenario don't even happen.
Not all the time. Like, I be smiling at people. I'm always smiling though, so I don't even think that really like plays. But not all Philly girls are angry and mean.
I mean, not all. You're right. Not all. You and So you. But nah, I'm playing, man. It's like 6 of y'all.
6. I like
But
that.
but seriously though, like I really don't date a lot. Like I'm because it's very dating. Like when we had these dating conversations, the reasons that are given from men and from women as to why dating is like a cesspool or whatever, I don't really subscribe to a lot of that because I think it's like a lot of mudslinging. But for me, individually, dating is just not really in the forefront of my mind. It's not a priority. Because from what I do see, from what I do observe, from what I do hear, from the conversations that I have personally or from the conversations that I hear from afar, mm-hmm. I don't yet qualify for a man who is who would be a good man to date, a good candidate.
Really?
Like I feel like I'm a good human being, but I'm not a good man.
Why do you think that is?
Because being a good human being is just being a good person.
Right.
But being a good man is being like a person who's able to take care of everyone who is around him.
Okay.
And I'm not able to do that right now. And I'm aware, like I'm one of the few men who is like, I'm aware of that.
Right.
I'm aware of what I'm good at, what I do bring to the proverbial table, but I'm also aware of what I don't. Mm-hmm. And like, based on the conversations that I hear, if you're not bringing an abundance to the table, like as a man, like you don't deserve love for real.
Wow.
And I'm not even saying, don't get me wrong, like I'm not even saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying that I accept that.
Okay.
You feel me? So I'm not, if I'm a nigga who don't deserve love based on what the masses say, then why would I even enter that game?
I don't think anyone doesn't deserve to be loved. I don't subscribe to that. I mean, okay. I feel like we all deserve to be loved. We all have our person that can inspire us and motivate us to get to that said level of, all right, you may not be here where you are right now, but if you had a solid person by your side, like you could definitely get to that space, like that teamwork mentality.
Yeah, but I don't know if that really exists as much as we would like for it to exist. And when I say that from obviously from a male perspective, like being an incomplete man looking for a woman to try to like add to your completeness is it's something that I don't think women want to have that burden on them. Like I think a lot of women would like to have a man as close to complete as possible before they even want to embark upon like entering a potential relationship.
I agree.
You know
I
what I'm saying?
definitely do agree.
So for that reason, it's like,
But to your point, right? You're feeling incomplete, but
no, I don't feel incomplete.
Okay.
I don't feel incomplete. I feel
it's because you're like you don't feel deserving.
I don't.
But why is it that you don't feel deserving?
See, that's not it. Maybe it's
Maybe it's the way you're saying it.
Forgive my brain, right?
Okay.
But it's like the way that I look at myself in the mirror, I think that I'm a good person. I think that I do think that I would be a catch, right?
I think you're a catch.
But
What? I do. I really do think you're a catch.
But that's one part of my brain, which is just my opinion about myself. But then there's another part of self-awareness that I think that is on another level where you have to look at how do I appear from the people who would be in my dating pool? You know what I'm saying? And I think the way that I would appear to them is like I'm a cool person, but being a cool or a good person is just it's not enough. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. Like if we really gonna keep it a buck, like being a good person is just like the bare minimum of what people want.
It is, you know.
Like they want you to have a bunch of shit. They want you to have a bunch of things, a bunch of qualities that, especially as a man, I hate that phrase. I hate prefacing statements with as a man, but as a man, like you expected to have certain things in order to even step foot in a dating pool. You know what I mean? And some women get upset at niggas who are stepping both feet in the dating pool knowing that they don't have those things in order. So why would I want to add myself in the category of being a nigga who's in the dating pool? And
so give me some examples of what you think those things are.
I sold my car in 2015. So I be on the train, I be on the trolley, I be on foot. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the Foot Clan, Ninja Turtles. I wear all black. I don't know no martial arts and shit, but what else? I don't got a lot of bread. Like I'm still grinding. I'm still working. Like I guess I'm an entrepreneur. I guess I would be under that umbrella. So that shit is super up and down, feaster family.
Oh Lord, I know that.
I'm not really. I'm not even really like. I don't even like dates for real.
No?
I don't go out to eat. Like, I don't even really like that shit. Like, quarantine, like when I tell you.
Quarantine was lit.
When I tell you my life did not change. Like, when they was, like, telling people to, like, yo, you got to stay inside and stay 6 feet away from people. I was like, so just be me then. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed quarantine.
Yeah.
Like it was me and my little Chihuahua paws.
Oh my God.
We were in the house just rocking, and it was dope. I think I went to my parents' house like once every 2-3 weeks, and my mom would be like, no hugs, no kisses, stay over there. You know, nothing really changed for me in quarantine either. So I love dates.
No car, not a lot of bread. I don't really enjoy like going out like that for real.
So you need a homebody.
Nah, but still, like, it's just and I create content, and I'm very open about, like, I'm not very private. Like, because I don't really have skeletons to be private about.
Okay.
But
so why is that an issue?
Because most people have skeletons.
Well,
Most women that I've come across enjoy their privacy, especially when it comes to their relationship, especially when it comes to men especially when it comes to just like things that are personal. Because I'll give you an example, right? When I was on Sex with Strangers, I was in a relationship, and one of the issues was, obviously we talked about sex, right? Mm-hmm. So I would talk about some of the things that I liked sexually,
right?
But because I'm not mentioning her, I'm not mentioning doing any of these acts with the girl that I was in a relationship with at the time, but the conversations with my then girlfriend was, she felt like the things that I was saying were reflecting upon her, and people would be assuming that everything that I liked she was doing because we were in a relationship together. So therefore I was breaching like that level of like privacy.
I mean, were you a virgin when you met her?
No.
So.
I was more of a virgin when I was with her.
I think I remember this story from the pod. So why would she...
Oh, my bad, I'm sorry.
Why would she think that everything that you talked about on there would be a reflection? I mean, at this point, you've grown, right?
Because the assumption, the assumption is, if me and you were together, right, and I go on a pod, and you and I are together, and people know that you and I are together, and then I go on somebody's platform and be like, yeah, I like busting on bitches' faces, and I like slapping my dick on across their left ear and shit like that, and then I don't know. Like, people who know both of us, or people who know you and listen to that platform, are going to assume that because you're my girlfriend, that you do the things that I like. Because in most relationships, girlfriends and boyfriends are going to do what each other of them like.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. So it was like that. So it was kind of like, by putting my business out there,
you're putting
I'm
hers.
indirectly putting her business out there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, and as a creator, like, I don't want to have to... I don't really want to have to sacrifice that. I don't want to have to. To me, in my opinion, like, that's kind of what makes the content that I create so special, especially as a man, especially as a black man, is because, like, I'm not gonna really hold no punches.
Right.
With my
You're
shit.
very vulnerable. Like, the post that was it yesterday you posted it, or today you posted it?
Yeah, that's it.
I was like, oh my gosh, like, I really truly appreciate your vulnerability in this moment. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not very often that black men are vulnerable and express that, I guess, inadequacy, or, you know, that
any kind of weakness, anything that can be viewed as like a weakness, or inadequate, or shit. Even average, and you know, because being average is like being poor. It's like being mediocre, like just being regular. Like, niggas never want to be regular,
right?
You know what I mean? But again, for me, I feel like that's kind of like my superpower as a creator, because I know not a lot of niggas is going to come on here and tell you exactly how they feel, exactly what failures they may have faced, and you know, because a lot of us try to fail in silence.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We try to fail in silence. But then it's like, who are you helping, bro? Like, you're not helping nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I failed at something that you're trying to do after me, why wouldn't I tell you my experience so you don't have to...
Right.
Like, Hov did that, so you don't have to go, like, type shit.
Right. And I think that is necessary. It's needed. Just so that people don't think that they crazy going through it by themselves.
That too.
You know, like, I run a mentoring program, and I tell parents, as a part of the girls signing up, listen, we gonna talk about this, and this. Mm-hmm. If you're not comfortable with your daughter having this conversation, this is not the program for her. I let them ask me whatever they want, and I will answer it honestly, because I wish I had somebody when I was 14, 15, 16 being vulnerable, like, you know, yeah, I got cheated on, yeah, I've been sexually assaulted, and yeah, I didn't like myself, and I had low self-esteem, and how I kind of like navigated through that. Mm-hmm. It's like, you're not alone. Like, somebody else has been through what you've been through, and they're on the other side. So it takes us to be vulnerable to express those things so that we can help other people.
Indeed.
But no one wants to be vulnerable. Like, everyone wants to have this picture perfect life. And listen, I'm still getting it together, putting it together. Like, people think, oh, Bernice is this, Bernice doing that. Like, no, I'm like, my money is not as long as y'all think it is, okay? You know, I'm super frugal. I find discount trips and I make it look good. But at the same time, like, my money is not, I'm not a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know, I'm still working. I'm still growing. And I can be honest about that.
But, you know, like, also, I think a lot of us are in that same boat where.
But no one wants to be honest about it.
But let me tell you why, from a male perspective, though, right? Like, I'm not saying that I can't say what you just said.
Right.
But what I am saying is, I think it's a little bit more acceptable for a woman who is out here grinding, putting in the work, really trying to, you know, get to the bag, as they say.
Yes.
But all the while, like, still acknowledging that they don't necessarily have it yet, right? Like, it's cool because, like, as a society, we kind of, if we gonna be real, like, we look at women like, you strong, but you strong for a woman.
Right.
You not strong in the authentic definition of what strength really means, right? Like, that is what man strong is.
Right. But at the same time,
I'm not saying that to be offensive. I'm just saying, but let me get to what I'm trying to get to first, right? I say that to say, like, a man will hear you, a man who is interested in you will hear you say that you're putting in the work, you're on the grind, you're trying to get to the money, you don't have it yet, you still struggle sometimes. Sometimes I need some help, sometimes I need some assistance, yada, yada, yada. A man will look at you who's interested in you and won't blink an eye at that. For a man to kind of say the same exact things that you're saying, sometimes that could be off-putting to a woman who, prior to him saying that, was interested in him. Like, there's a joke. I saw some shit on fucking Instagram or TikTok today where it's like, it's a girl where she hears a guy tell her, like, oh, you the one with all the bread, like, oh, because you know how niggas joke,
right.
Oh, you a baller, you got the money, I see you. Like, that has become like a turnoff to women now. Just a man just mentioning that she's doing her thing because it implies that, like, he don't got it.
I think it's the way that they say it. It really is. There's a way that you can say, like, yeah, you get into the bag, you get, like, yo, I see you. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. But then you have other ways that they say it, and it just feels like, I don't know, like they're coming at you in a way. See,
the way that, when I was in high school, right, me and my homies used to have this thing that we call false flattery. And it was basically, all niggas do it. And it's like, you come in a room and, like, you might have on, like, some new kicks or some shit like that. And niggas be like, oh, this nigga got the new, oh, this nigga so fucking fly. Like,
right.
You know we being over the top.
Right.
But you know it's a joke, but you also know it's a compliment, like, all in one.
Right.
I think that's what women are kind of taking offensive. Because, like, if you come in with, like, a new, I don't know, what's a poppin', like, bag or some shit, like a Chanel bag.
Right.
If you come in with a new Chanel bag and I'm like, oh, she got the new shit, you got so much fucking money, you killing these things. Like, that's not, how is that offensive?
Right.
That's what, but maybe
I think,
like,
what comes offensive, because I've been turned off by stuff like that before, and it wasn't even like, it was just like, oh, I'm trying to be like you when I grow up, or
niggas say that all the time,
right, or
to each other.
Like, yeah. So some dude was like, yeah, I'm trying to be like you, like, I want to be like you when I grow up. Must be nice, you know. But the way he said it, it was like, he was like, you know, some of us, like, really work. Like, I don't work.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like, and he always was like, oh, it must be nice. Like, I was in Paris and he had texted me. I'm like, oh, he like, where you at? I'm like, I'm in Paris. And he was like, you could have been anywhere in the world. And I was like, and I chose Paris. Like, must be nice. Okay, now you're hating, and now you need to go sit where you at. Like, that's not a turn on
I got you.
for you to be like, oh, must be nice. Like I want to be like you when I grow up. You can. Like, the thing is, like, you can. Like, you chose this path for yourself. There's so many. In this day and age with YouTube University and Google and everything else, like, you can choose to be whatever it is that you want to be. But don't sit here and say, you don't know what I go through. You don't know. I'm a realtor. I'm an entrepreneur, up and down, up and down. Like, some seasons are great and I'm always closing. And then some it's like, ooh, I ain't closed something in 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's up and down. It's not nice all the time. You was here the other day when we was recording and I wanted to quit. I think I did quit like 3 times. But by the time we started the recording to like the other, I quit. Because it's not fun, it's not nice, it's not, so do I miss getting a paycheck every 2 weeks and just clocking in, clocking out and not have to worry about it? Sometimes. But I also love my freedom. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to come into my world trying to make me feel some type of way because I can get up and go.
Well, my question to that would be like, how can if you are in Paris, and I didn't know that you was in Paris, and I hit you up, and I'm like, yo, what's up? Where you at? That look like a weird looking Eiffel Tower thing in the back. Like, where you at?
Right.
And you be like, no, I'm in Paris or whatever. If I am actually genuinely like excited about that for you, how do I compliment you without you taking offense?
You're like, oh, that's what's up. Like, what is it like out there? Like, just continue the conversation. Okay. Don't be on some, oh, must be nice. Like, what?
Well, wait.
Must be nice. Yeah, it is nice out here, actually.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't come off as a hater.
I got you.
And one of the things that I've encountered in this dating pool are men that are haters. Low-key haters. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I can't help that I can get to the bag.
You know what? I think that is? I think that's kind of a catch-22 because, and I'm speaking from like my personal experiences, right? Where I've never had the things that I've chosen to do in my life or chosen to chase have always been like things that are like the odds of me becoming successful are like 1,000,000 to 1.
Right.
Like, I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. I worked in corporate for like 4 or 5 years, and now I'm back on some fucking, let me try to use my camera to make
Emmy
millions of
Award
dollars type shit.
Winner.
Right?
He's an Emmy Award winner, guys. I just love how you are so humble about it. See, that's why God doesn't bless me with certain stuff. Like, I'm like, hello, yes, I'd probably be walking around with my Emmy like, guys, do you see this? Do you see this? I got an Emmy. Stupid. It'll be in the background of every picture.
Just start every sentence with, I would like to thank
God for allowing me to win this Emmy.
That's
like
funny. But like the catch-20. Well, I say that to say, I've when I was like really like purposefully like dating, I encountered women who I just knew that they made more money than me.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But that was never something that really like bothered me or intimidated me. Not because like I'm a mooch, but just because like it ain't never like someone else's money has never just been, it never moved me. So
I'm the same way in a sense. I dated broke dudes on purpose for a period of time in my life. It goes back to my daddy issues. And my dad used to just like take care of stuff, cut checks and like take care, but he was never present. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played soccer, I played softball, I was a cheerleader in high school. My dad came to one cheerleading competition, and I think my mom threatened him in some way, shape, or form because he said he wasn't coming, and then he ended up there with the video camera. So I'm sure my mom had something to do with that. Yeah. My dad never came to any softball game, not one, and came to one soccer game. but he was there. Like he would be. So my family dynamic was a little weird. My dad was home on the weekends, and then he spent the week in New York working or whatever the case may be. So, but he would be in Philly. He just wouldn't be there. But he bought us stuff. He took us places. Like he spent money. But for me, that never moved me because that's not what made me feel good. So for a period of time, I want to say up until I was like 23-ish. I was like dating dudes who ain't had no money. Like, cause you have to love me. like you ain't got nothing else to give me but love. You know what I'm saying? Then I realized like they were trash too after getting cheated on and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, so you ain't got nobody and you trash. Okay, now let me get somebody with some money, because at least if you do me dirty, at least I could feel good about it because we done had some experiences and stuff. And then I met people who were on the same level as me, like not trying to save anybody. Like my mom, and the crazy part is my mom called it out when I was like 18. Like, why you always want a project? Why can't you ever find somebody that like is together? Why you always want to fix somebody? I'm a fixer. So I dated that broke person, and then I got to where I am now. Like you ain't gotta be a millionaire, but you gotta have a couple dollars.
Well, and that goes back to my previous point about, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I don't really, it's like two sets of self-awarenesses that I feel like you gotta have. Excuse me. But like what I was saying with the catch-22 with a man who isn't really pressed about who makes more money, is that's probably going to be a man who isn't pressed about being labeled the protector provider ass nigga. But women want a protector provider ass nigga. But you got to know that nigga comes with the characteristic of wanting to be up here in every single aspect of your relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's something that women is going to have to try to finagle through and try to pick the right person, because in a lot of situations, like, you really can't have both. Like, you can't have a person who they're indifferent to who's the breadwinner. They're indifferent to who calls the shots. They're indifferent to who makes the last decision, as long as the right shot is called, as long as the right decision is made, as long as the bills are paid, right? But if you're talking to somebody who's indifferent about it, he may not have that same vigor when trying to be that person who provides for everything. Right. And that person who does, the person where it is super important to him as a man to provide for everything, that's a person you might clash with, because y'all might be like fighting for that top spot where you might not even really be fighting. Right. But he's clawing, like, it means so much to him that like some men have to just feel like they running shit. Right. And I'm okay with that. As long as you're running stuff in the right direction. Like, I have no problem. Like I am the way that I am. Like, I'm a hustler. I'm a go-getter. I'm working. You know, I'm doing what I need to do to provide, because I like nice things. I'm single. Ain't nobody about to provide these nice things that I like but me. However, if I get into a situation with somebody, or if I get into a relationship, I do want you to take the lead. Like, I'm not fighting you for who's going to be who's going to be the head or whatever. Right. I want to take the back seat, but I'm not going to take the back seat to somebody who is taking us nowhere. You play sports, right? Yes. But let me try to put in a sports analogy. It's like there's a guy who needs to be a leader of the team, but then there's this other guy who don't say shit, but he the best player on the team. Right. It's going to be hard for the nigga who's not the best player to be the leader. Because everybody had the spotlight on the nigga who's the best player. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of think it's the same thing, where it's like, you getting your own shit, you can buy your own shit, you can support your own shit, which is dope. But if you get into a relationship where it's like the man is the only one competing for the top spot, you're not even competing. You just being I'm just you. Being me. But it's like you the best player, but he want to be the leader. It's always going to be like a clash, even if you don't want it to be a clash, depending on if that's. But I feel like at some point that needs to be a conversation in a relationship. I was in a relationship once, and he says it was another reason, but I feel like, personally, I feel like he didn't feel like he could be the head
He was going through changes in life that caused him not to be able to be that person that he was throughout the relationship. And instead of just saying something, I'm a very open, I'm flexible, like I'm with whatever. Like, just let's have a conversation about it. If I need to carry us for a little bit, I'm okay with that. Because I know the type of person that I'm dealing with is not going to stay in that place where I'm carrying us forever. You know what I'm saying? And I remember we had got to a point and I just was like, yo, let's go to, let's go away for the weekend. I'm like, we've been clashing, we've been beefing. I think we need to like just go away for like 2-3 days. I ain't got no money for that. Bro, it's taken care of. Like, like I know someone who has a condo down in Florida. And I'm like, we don't even got to pay for lodging. All we got to do is pay for the flight, the rental car, and we don't even need a rental car because we're 7 minutes from the airport. We're right on Ocean Drive Strip in Fort Lauderdale. So it's like, we don't even need a rental car for real. But all we need is a flight, a rental, and food. I got that. Like, that's nothing. But to him, I can't do that. And I'm just like, I like to go out. So I'm that person. I like to go out to try new restaurants. And restaurant week, I be out there trying every new restaurant that I ain't tried before. You know what I'm saying? I like to do things like, I'm about to take a trip to Houston just to go try a seafood spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that person. Me and my girlfriend took a 2-day, we did a 2-day trip. We left the first flight Monday, came back the last flight Tuesday, just to go to this restaurant in Miami that we ain't never been to.
Was it worth it?
Oh my God, it was worth every penny. You know what I'm saying? And we got to lay on a beach, and we got to go down on a strip. Like, we had a really, really good time. Like, I'm all about experiences. Like, at the end of the day, I've made money, I've lost money, I've fumbled bags, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've messed up bad. But one of the things that no one can ever take away from me is the experiences that I've had, the traveling that I've done, the places that I've seen, the people that I've met. And I feel like life is a lot about experiences. And yeah, money gets tight, but we still need to find a way to like enjoy life. And if I'm your woman,
right,
and you down,
right,
just like I'm not a millionaire, but I'm gonna help you where I can. What you need,
right.
And it's hard for men to I feel like it's hard for men to say that, but like in our relationship, at that point in our relationship, I felt like we were past that. And we were like a year in. Like, bro, come on. Like, if we can't have this conversation where you're vulnerable with me to let me know, like, look, money's slow right now, business is slow right now, or whatever the case may be. I can't. I know you like to go out to eat. But my pockets can't afford going out to eat right now. One, I'm going to slow down on how many times we go out to eat. All right, maybe we went out once a week. Now let's go out once a month, my treat. I don't mind. Just until you get yourself together. But I do feel like spending time is very important in relationships. So if you take away that, you know, I like to get dressed up. I like to get cute sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I might look good in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. But I want to get dressed up and put some heels on and go out.
Okay.
And if you can't afford it, I need you to be comfortable enough to be like, babe, I ain't got it right now.
I hear what you're saying, and I think it's a lot deeper than you just being in a relationship with somebody for a certain amount of time where you think that you should be past certain like programming and conditioning, because it's deeper than just we together, so we should be able to have this conversation. Like, again, I go back to society. Like, society really rules for like a lot of shit. And society kind of tells men, black men specifically, because I don't really pay attention to like
anybody else.
You know what I'm saying? It really tells black men specifically that like it's a crapshoot. It's like Russian roulette, telling a woman that you're interested in or that you're already involved with, telling her that you're down,
right? Even
if it's just one time, like, because you run the risk of like, or let me not even say that. We think because of the programming, because of the conditioning, we think that we're running the risk of losing respect.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. Like, so I'll be honest. If we just dating, you know, we are not exclusively together,
Right.
and you want some like, oh, you know, whatever, I might be like,
Right.
sir. But like I said, that also goes into how long have we been dating? Like, where are we at in this relationship? Like,
But you also-
I had this guy. No, I really had this guy one time that tried to. Our first date was like, yeah, do you wanna? I don't really want to go out. Do you mind cooking dinner? And I could. First of all, no. You're not coming to my house. People don't come to my house. My house is not the hangout spot. Like, my family members don't hang out at my spot. Like, my house is not the hangout spot. Like, I really, really, really gotta like you. You know what I'm saying? For you to even know where I live. First couple of dates, I'm meeting you. Ain't no picking me up. I don't care if I gotta drive 45 minutes to Montgomery County to go wherever we dating because I'm out in West. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I will drive and meet you and drive home, and I'm perfectly okay with that. Right. But I feel like there's a certain place. So I guess, like, what's the expectations in dating? So for me, my expectations, I want to get to know you, but I want to get to know the real you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very like, listen, this is what you're going to get. Listen, I'm not even going to lie to you.
You contradicting yourself right now, though, because you said you want to get to know the real me.
Right.
But if the real me don't really got bread like that, you saying that you don't really want to hear that if we just in a dating stage.
So if we on date, if I known you for like 2-3 weeks,
okay, and
you ain't got it, this not going to work.
Okay.
It's just not.
Okay.
Because it's
So what I'm saying is, so do a nigga, but that goes back to what I just said. It goes back to several points that I've been saying. Like, but that's what I'm saying. The programming and the conditioning tells black men that if you tell a woman that you're in a vulnerable position right now, it's a 50-50 chance that she's gonna lose respect for you, and it's never any coming back from that. So, true. But then we also get mad at men when they send their representative throughout the dating stage too. Wow,
that is the worst.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, so as men, it's like you have two choices, and then you have a third choice that's in the fine print. The two choices is you either lie, you tell the truth, and risk, you know what I'm saying, missing out on that woman or women, or the fine print is that's where I come. I'm the fine print where you just don't date. You just don't. Real shit.
So are you ever going to get to a place where you're dating?
I don't know. I really don't care.
Ladies, like, Jaxon is an amazing man, okay?
He has $6. So if he is an amazing $6 having ass nigga.
James, you got more than $6. You better stop, okay? Like, you know.
But but you know what though? What has changed my mentality a lot about dating too is becoming a person who has to kind of like go out and hunt for his food, like on some entrepreneur shit.
Right.
Where like every dollar gotta mean something. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like every dollar that comes in.
So in that sense, you should like. So I can understand that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that goes to dating in a right, like not a right person, but in a right arena. Like. Mm-hmm. I would prefer an entrepreneur or a business owner or, you know, someone like that. But I have nothing against dating people with 9-to-5s or, you know what I'm saying? But they also have to understand, like we have to come to a mutual understanding about our lifestyles. Right. Like one of the things that I need to work on, and I know I need to work on this, is that...
You know who says that is people who never work on that shit. That's how like niggas been having to work on getting back in the gym
We're not talking about that gym conversation, Jax. We had that conversation the other day. We're not talking about that today. Okay, we're not. Okay, but one of the things that I know that I need to work on is because I've been living this entrepreneur lifestyle for almost 6 years now, 5-6 years. I have this like freedom to get up and go. You know what I'm saying? If I'm stressed, I'm going to get on my phone. All right, let's see. How much money I got in a bank account? Where can I go with this money? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just to get away. Like, Valentine's Day. I ain't had not one Valentine. Damn. I was here. You know what I did? No. It was like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and book me a hotel.
Rose?
Huh?
You bought a rose?
I had one already, pre-Valentine. But... I've had that. Well, she been in my possession for like a year now. But
did you get your rose from Erotic Boudoir, or you forgot it from somewhere else?
I didn't even know her at that point. But
if y'all need some roses, if y'all ain't got no dick and shit, you ain't gonna get my dick.
She ain't just got roses now.
She
got a plethora of other items as well.
Erotic-boudoir.com.
We're gonna tag her in this junk. Go to her.
touch your body, mind, and soul.com. Thank me later.
With the plug. Thank Jay for the plug. But yeah, so Valentine's, I was sitting in the crib. I was sad as hell I ain't had no Valentine this year. Like, you couldn't tell me last year. I'm like, last year, this is my last year not having a Valentine. I came into 2022 scratching my head like, and I really sat there. I think it was like on the second or third day of this year. I sat there. I was like, Bernice, you know you ain't giving not one person a chance last year. I think I went on maybe 2 dates all of last year. Like, but I guess what I was doing? I was traveling. I was on a flight going somewhere all the time. So, you know, I'm the type of person, like I said, Valentine's, I was sitting in my my office at the house, and it was 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I booked me a hotel, grabbed my stuff, went to the hotel, and just like chilled. You know what I'm saying? By myself.
To the hotel, but like here?
Yeah, it was still here.
Okay,
it was still in Philly.
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? But I went to a hotel. It was too late for me to just drive. I felt like to drive to like AC or DC or whatever the case may be. So I just went, and I had like a 9 o'clock meeting the next morning, so that I couldn't go far. But it was just like something like that. Or I went to Puerto Rico for my birthday by myself. Like, I'll get up and go.
That's dope.
because I feel like it. You know, pre-COVID, I drove to Niagara Falls by myself, stayed there for 3 days on the Canada side, not the United States side. But like, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm going to stop what I'm doing, and I'm going to just take myself out of this environment, and I'm going to go. And I remember, so I had a miscarriage in 2015, right? I met my ex towards the end of 2015. And I remember I was due April 7th, 2016. That was when I was due. And that weekend, it fell on a weekend. So I booked me a hotel, and I went to Atlantic City for 2 days by myself. Now his homies was like, you sure she went by herself? And you sure, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, I'm FaceTiming you here. I'm by myself. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But he couldn't go because he was working. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, like, I don't mind dating somebody who has like that 9 to 5, but they have to understand that that's the thing that I'm working on, not booking a trip and just going, like considering other people's feelings.
Why is that a thing that consider other? So so it's more. It's not the booking the trips you got to work on. It's the considering
other people's feelings, acknowledging that there's somebody else. Like, even like with this right here, me being in Philly this week, there's folks that are upset that they not going to see me while I'm here, and it's like, I can't please everybody. And there's some people that didn't even know I was here. You know, people don't know where I'm going, where I'm at, when I'm here, when I'm not. And I have to get better at that. Like, I've been single since 2017.
Yeah, me too. Nice.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't had good times, high five. Yeah. I haven't had to report to anybody, and it's not reporting, you know what I'm saying? But I haven't had to, acknowledge. I haven't had to check in. So checking in now is like a foreign thing, which doesn't work when you're trying to build and grow in a relationship with somebody. Like, I was having a conversation with one of my aunts who who's talking to somebody. And she called him while she was at the airport, like, yeah, I'm about to go to Philly. And he like, whoa, I talked to you earlier today. You ain't saying nothing about having to go to Philly. Oh, well, this came up, blah, 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 and I got a jet. And he's like, that's not how you do things. Like, you can't.
See, this is why I'm bad at dating because I wouldn't give a fuck.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people do. Like, when you don't even consider their feelings or how they would. These
people you speak of, they must have had really great relationships. Because if my girl told me she was about to go somewhere, I'd be happy. Thank God.
That's how you feel.
You should have left yesterday.
You've had bad relationships. I love being in relationships.
You're grossing me out already.
I'm what?
You're grossing me out.
Why?
With this sentence.
I love it. I love being in a relationship. I love having a man. You know, I love all the good stuff. You know, I even like the arguing because the making up is even better.
No, see, I hate that. No, see, no.
I'm not going to purposely argue with you, but I do find it's true. Like, makeup is so much better than whatever once you've worked through the issue.
See, this is probably why I'm not eager to get back in. No, because I don't like that, bro.
Like, you don't like what?
I don't even like the concept of makeup sex. I don't even.
Well, I feel like the sex needs to be good whether it's makeup or not. However, I think the passion behind making up is different.
But here,
it's different.
Okay, wait.
What?
But the concept behind, even that statement, because why is there passion in the makeup sex that don't be there in the regular sex? Like that right there. I've had the couple times that I've had women try to use sexual acts as apologies and shit.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
But this is but it's all within the makeup sex. In my experience.
Okay, no. So we're not talking about using sex as an apology. We're talking about, babe, we both come into a mutual understanding of we're either gonna agree to disagree on whatever this thing is, or one person or the other is going to take accountability for whatever it is that they did, and now we're back. Wait, no.
It's not gonna be
That's
her.
not true.
It's not gonna be her.
Why ain't it?
Because it's a her. Fuck you mean? Why?
There are some women who take accountability for their actions.
Show me 5 in your phone. Not 5 fingers.
Okay, anywho,
I'm talking shit.
I feel like not using sex as an apology, but using it as a way to reconnect after we done had that moment of separation because of whatever it is that we were arguing or not on the same page about. I feel like those are two completely different things.
I can feel that. I am, in all jokes aside, in my experiences though, I really have had the makeup sex that I've had has been an opportunity for her to do the things that I've been asking you to do for months and you just never did, and now you want to.
That's very unfortunate.
You know what I'm saying? But also but for me though, makeup sex has felt like positive reinforcement for having conflicts. You know what I'm saying? I know if we have a conflict, then we could have some bomb ass makeup sex.
No.
So it's gonna so you might not necessarily.
So there's no resolution, is what you're saying. We're just having sex to just speed bump over whatever we was beefing about.
That's not even what I mean. But it's even if there is a genuine conflict, right? Mm-hmm. But then after the conflict has been resolved, then the makeup sex follows. But what I'm saying is I don't like the concept of makeup sex because it kind of rewards you for having conflicts. Real shit.
I know. I get where you're coming from now. I can see where you're coming from.
Because my thing is because generally if you ask people what makes the makeup sex better, people is gonna say the passion of it.
Right.
But my thing is why is the passion not there without the conflict?
I don't know what y'all be into, but there's passion over here.
I mean that's cool.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It may not be every single day because sometimes you just gotta, get what you gotta get to so we can go to work.
I mean,
but it's passionate. There's always passion, but there is just a slight rise in the passion when it's like, all right, we're making up. To me, I look at it as reconnection. We had a moment where we were disconnected, we weren't on the same page, and we were like this. And now that we back to this, it's feeling like even greater.
I got you. I mean, for the record, I'm traumatized though, so that's probably that plays a big part.
Ladies, we need to. Y'all
don't need to do nothing.
Ladies, I need one of y'all ladies that are watching this to help me help him. Okay, we need to get you a real good, not even wholesome, but a real good woman to help undo this foolishness that you. I'm so sorry.
It's no fool. You don't have to apologize. You ain't do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, man. We all go. Everybody go through their shit.
Right.
You know
No, I'm not gonna lie and say like all my relationships have been great. I've had several extremely toxic, unhealthy. I've been in abusive relationships. Like every relationship has not been great, but the ones that were great made the ones that weren't like go away.
See, I can't really honestly 100% say that I've had any great ones.
Okay.
So that's probably that plays a big part into why I'm not like super like gun ho about like.
Yeah, I was a serial dater. Like I was always in a relationship. I always had a boyfriend, and it's so funny. It's so funny because I was talking to my girlfriend about this. I'm like, yo, growing up from like 14 to like I was like 25, I always had a boyfriend.
That's crazy. Always
had a boyfriend. Now it's like I've been single for 5 years. I can't find a boyfriend to save my life. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'm also looking for something different now than what I was. Like if you would have told me at 18 I'm 33 now, that I wouldn't have been married with so at 18 I wanted to be a lawyer. Mm-hmm. So by this point in my head, 33 looked like practicing law, married, at least 3 kids, me and my husband just like traveling around the world, my kids in private school. Like I had a whole idea of what life was supposed to look like. Yeah. Then I got to 25 and I'm like, something not right here. But then I also realized at that point I had some trauma. I had some unresolved issues that I had to deal with. So I started going to therapy. Mm-hmm. And I realized I was thrown off. Like what I wanted and the way I was moving in these relationships were like here. You know what I'm saying? They were nowhere near each other to make those relationships that I wanted in my head even possible. Yeah. Because of my actions, I was immature, I was petty, I was toxic. Okay? I was not a good person. Okay? It was my way or the highway. There were no second chances. You were one and done. I'm out of here. Like, that was me. Yeah. And I'm like, how are you supposed to build a relationship if you can't even sit there long enough to resolve a conflict? Yeah. So now I'm just like, all right. Now I'm really like kind of like, all right, I got my life together. Yeah. I got a little bit of money. I got a couple things under my belt, things that I'm doing, and life is good. I want to share that with someone. Like I love traveling. Mm-hmm. I want to share these experiences with somebody.
You gotta wait. This is your punishment right now.
This is my punishment?
Yeah, for being a fucking asshole.
I was.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay that back.
I definitely was. Like it was. But the one thing that I'm blessed that in these latter years, I haven't.
Latter years. This nigga fucking 33 is all about latter years.
I haven't had to deal with assholes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful in that nature that.
Not even with like your mouth or finger either? What, no?
Bye, Jax.
I didn't know that was a joke. All right.
talking about people. Okay, we're talking about dealing with people who may be assholes.
Okay.
I have not.
Shout out to Green Juice, man. Sex exchanges. You feel me? Yep.
I have not had to deal with that, and that's the only blessing because I was expecting that, you know, in these last couple of years, like, yo, you gonna get jerk after jerk after jerk after jerk, and the dates that I've been on and the people that I have dated in the last 5 years, even though it may not have gone anywhere, they were good relationships. They were good, like we can still speak. We're still cordial. There's no animosity. There's no hate. We're just grown enough to understand, like, we're on two separate pages and we're not going in the same direction. So let's just go ahead and cut our losses right now when we still could be cool, as opposed to trying to force this thing and then hate each other later.
Yeah. Do you, like, after you had that conversation, like, do you fuck one more time or you just leave
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's what's up.
It depends on the person.
I got you.
Sometimes it's just like, nah, we just had this conversation. We just gonna go ahead about our business. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of really depends on the relationship and the person.
That's funny.
I'm being honest. Like, you know, sometimes it doesn't warrant another time, a double back.
I got you. I feel it.
And sometimes it does.
I got you. That's cool. You haven't looked in your book one time, have you?
I have. I think I did. So Jaxon has his there. So I have points that I like to hit, you know, in these conversations. And I actually thank you for coming and having this conversation with me. He was not.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be behind the camera.
He's behind the camera. He was not supposed to be here, but our guest couldn't make it. So we dropped him, and he told me straight up, "You cannot bring your book." I'm like, what? He was like, "You know what? All right, cool. You can have 2 points that you could hit. Other than that, we're just going to have a conversation." Yeah. And I really do. This conversation has flowed. It was good. I got some good nuggets out of it. Yeah, I'm sure you got some good nuggets out of it.
What's on there? What's on here?
Let's see. What's on here? But you kind of threw me off. Like, I couldn't really like hit none of my points because from the beginning, I'm like, dang, he don't even like relationships. I can't even talk about the dating thing.
Ask me shit.
No, it wasn't. It's not shit. It was just one of the things was like, how do you set expectations in the people that you date? But you don't like to date, so you can't. It's like,
I can still answer that question.
Okay, go ahead. So how do you set expectations? Like, what expectations do you set for people that you are gonna date? Like, do you have non-negotiables?
Wait. Define date. What you mean date though?
Like dating someone
like
that you
going out on dates with somebody that I'm like, because you know some people define dating as like we're just going out on dates.
Yeah, dating. So to me, dating is we're going out on dates. We're seeing if we like each other, and if we like each other, then we go to being exclusive.
Wait. So
there's like a process.
Is exclusive a relationship?
Pretty much.
Then what's a relationship? What's the difference between exclusive and a relationship?
No, I guess you could say being exclusive is a relationship.
Okay. I just wasted your time because I don't have no expectations.
You don't have none?
Nah, I really don't. I don't have no expectations until we have some sort of like commitment. You know what I'm saying?
So how do you even know that they're gonna?
You don't know.
If they're gonna abide by those expectations.
I have no fucking idea. That's the dating stage. That's to me, like for a man, yo, the dating stage is like the best. Like women be trying to understand and like do the science and formulas and like as to like why niggas don't be wanting to commit. Niggas don't be wanting to commit because when you commit, like that's when shit fall off. Like the most competitive woman that you'll really ever see is the woman in the dating stage. When she finds out that she likes you and that you could be a potential suitor for a commitment. That's when she like really, like the woman's representative is a fire time for a man to experience. You know what I'm saying? But it is like once, and it might be the same from y'all perspective. I don't know, but I just know from my perspective, like when you trying to win, it's almost like when you trying to win a championship, like you really putting in all the work.
Right.
But then after you got your ring, it's like you can kind of relax.
Right.
And that's just kind of like human nature. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like I don't really have expectations because I think when you start putting expectations on people, that's when people start to disappoint you too.
Definitely do.
You know what I mean? So I just want to see who you are, because I know I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be. I want to see what you're gonna do. I want to see how you're gonna react to certain things. I want to see what you're gonna take initiative with. I want to see what you're gonna. Are you always gonna wait for me to initiate things? Because for a guy too, like that's a big thing for me. Is I don't want to have to be the one who always initiates everything, whether it be sexually or non-sexually.
Okay.
Because by men always being like the primary pursuers, it's hard for us to really gauge when a woman really likes us for real. Mm-hmm. Because at what point in time are women really pursuing us?
Right.
At what point in time is a woman like opening her wallet to like try to take me out? At what point in time is a woman like pushing me up against the fucking wall and pulling my dick out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's for me, like that's not really how it goes. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes as a guy, you can like really, you can lose yourself in whether or not a woman is even really interested in you, or is she just interested in the way that you treat her, because you are pursuing her, and like a woman's currency is kind of like the amount of attention that she can garner. You know what I'm saying? But just because you get attention don't necessarily mean you like a nigga.
Right.
You could just like the attention.
True.
You know what I mean? So like, it can be complex. So I don't have a lot of expectations. I used to, but that's how I would kind of continuously get disappointed.
Right. I wouldn't say I have. No, I do have expectations on how I want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't see those things in the dating phase, what's the point in even committing? You know what I'm saying? And I had someone that I dated that told me that they lost themselves in the relationship because they didn't know how to say no.
That's the thing.
To me. And I'm like, I was so confused because I'm a very vocal person. Like in relationships, when I'm dating someone, like you're going to know how I feel about whatever. And I want to know how you feel about whatever. Like even if it might hurt my feelings, I'm going to say, I'm a tough cookie. It'll hurt me right now, and you say no to me right now, and I'll be upset for like an hour, and then I get over it, move on, we can go on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm open to that because I understand like relationships are two different people from two different walks of life trying to figure out how we can make this one thing work. Men
are spooked.
By what?
Men are spooked, yo. Because one of the scariest, it's so weird, it's so odd. One of the scariest things a man can do is tell a woman that he likes, no, I can't do that. We can't do that. I can't do that. I'm not available. No, I'm not going to do that for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems so simple, but just the wrath of like a woman's disappointment I'm not telling jokes.
No, I know you're not laughing. I'm laughing because you are so serious. But it's just like but
the thing, but you say that that's who you are, and you could definitely be that. But it's like just how like women kind of treat the current man based on how the past man treated them. Right. Like niggas do the same thing.
Right.
Niggas is like, I can hear you say like, yeah, I'm not gonna get mad. I'm gonna be cool and we can have a conversation. In my mind, that sound great. But based on
my experience,
based on my experiences and my dating history, like I don't really trust that. And it's a
real thing.
It's a compliment in me even taking the chance to tell you no, and to really test your word of how you saying that you will react because you're this mature ass woman. No,
don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that I'm not gonna be upset. Right. Like I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm saying that I may be upset, but it's not gonna be like I don't want to talk to you no more. Whatever. It'll just be like, all right, maybe I need to go sit down for a second and wallow in my sadness and then be okay. But there are certain things that I feel like if you say no to, then it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have an emergency and I'm like stuck on the side of the road and you are not making any effort, even if you can't leave, but if you're not then making any effort to help me solve this solution, and I gotta call my daddy, it's a wrap.
I mean,
you know, but then it's like certain things like, all right, well, say you already had plans with your homies, and I want to go out tonight. I'm gonna feel some type of way, like, damn, like, but all right, well, whatever. But you're not even giving me that. So you're creating a monster in a sense if you're not saying no.
Yeah, you are.
And then when you finally do say no a year or two down the line, you trying to understand why she's snapping.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Niggas is spooked. I'm not even putting it all on women. I'm putting a lot of it on men. I used to be that nigga who was scared to disappoint. And it's a weird fear because it's not like you really fearful of like losing that person. You just fearful of the conflict in general. Like you just like niggas just be wanting shit to go smooth. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the time, conversations with women is like, do you like not want this shit to go smooth? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that be the vibe. Like that be the energy. Like, do you want to argue? Like, you want to have friction? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, because most niggas don't be wanting to have friction.
I feel like it just takes too much for arguing. Like, too much for friction.
It's not it, but you know what it is though. It's really. Some people, I don't even want to put this on women, but some people have a way of, it's not necessarily an argument, but it's your aura. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how like you could, if your girl is upset, you be like, yo, like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? I can see it on your face. I can see it in your body language and shit. She be like, I'm fine. You're not fine. But you telling me you fine. So we not arguing, but now it's friction. Niggas hate that. And a lot of women don't know how to control that shit.
You right. One of the things, so there was this guy who who just knew. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was upset one time and he FaceTimed me or whatever, and I answered the phone like, yo, what's up? He like, whoa, nah. What's going on? I'm like, oh, this is going on and this is going on and this is going on. But he's like, nah, that ain't it. And I'm like, nah, other than that, I'm good. He like, yo, look me in my face in his phone. Like, what's up? Like, he's like, I know your energy. He's like, you always answer the phone like, hey, you always on 10. Right now, you're not on 10. Like, what's up? And I kind of just was like, dag, you really like, for me, it was like, oh, you really care. So then I unloaded with what was really the issue. And you know, he definitely put a smile on my face and we was cool. I think sometimes we just be like, nothing, because y'all be coming off like y'all really don't even care. Like, whatever we dealing with or whatever, what we're upset about is small or petty to you. So you just like, it ain't even that deep. But it is that deep to me. So we don't want you to sit here and minimize what we're feeling. So you just be like, I'm cool. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
I mean, would that fuck up the energy of the whole room? You know what I'm saying? For real. Because, like, you know how women be like, don't take my opportunity to, like, choose away? It's kind of the same thing in that. Like, if I'm asking you what's wrong, like, now I'm giving you an opportunity to tell me. And by you saying nothing, but your energy is saying that there's something wrong, but you're not telling me, like, you're not even, because you assume that I'm going to diminish it or minimize it.
Right.
You're not giving me an opportunity to maximize it.
Right.
You're not even giving me an opportunity to, like, to show you that I give a fuck. Matter of fact, the only way that you knew that nigga gave a fuck is he had to ask you 5 times.
He didn't ask me 5 times.
You just said
like,
he was
he
like,
asked me
yo,
like,
nah,
he asked me
no.
like 3.
That's still too many. That's too many.
It wasn't 5 though.
That's
like,
too many because, you know, but what's interesting though, like, we have these standard conversations and these boundary conversations is like, you setting standards all the time. That's a standard you set. Where if a nigga asks you something one time and you tell him on the first time, you setting a standard that, yo, whenever I ask her, she gonna tell me what it is. If a nigga gotta ask you 3 times, you setting a standard that I gotta ask this bitch 3 times or what the fuck wrong, like on some Austin Powers shit. Like, you constantly setting standards and showing people how to treat you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's interesting how we pick and choose like what we're gonna stand firm on and like what we just kind of sweep under the rug. And the shit that you sweep under the rug really be the shit that fuck you up down the line.
I agree.
Because that would fuck me up. I'm not asking you 3 times every fucking time what's wrong with you. I'm gonna ask you one fucking time and you tell me nothing, I'm gonna treat it like it's nothing. And you can't be mad at me because I asked you and you said nothing, and I trust you because I don't think you're a liar.
Right.
So now when you come back and you tell me that something is wrong, now I think you're a fucking liar. Real shit. You a fucking liar.
Okay. I see. All right.
You
I
a
see
fucking liar now. So now we really can't communicate at all because now I don't know when you telling me the truth and when you not. And that's on you though.
You done took it that far?
You fucking right. Yes. Because
that is an extreme.
No, it is an extreme, but sometimes it gotta be extreme for women to really understand shit. Because some women will really sit here and call a nigga a liar up and down off of one thing, right? And that can be cool because if you lie to me once, then you'll lie to me every day. But you gotta keep that same energy all across the board. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I ask you what's wrong, something's wrong, you tell me nothing, you lying. And then you want to get mad when I don't want to communicate? You want to get mad when you tell me, oh, I'm cool, and then I act as if things is cool, but you still mad. Nah, fuck out my face, cuz. You good. You cool, remember?
Okay.
See, this is why I don't need to be in a relationship. This is why I don't get my dick sucked. Like,
No, you just need to be with somebody who gonna be like, tell you what it is the first time.
Or that. But where you gonna find that? Mars? Jupiter?
I don't know, maybe. You know, they going to space now on some.
I do hear alien pussy real slimy, so that might be an option.
Well, I don't even think I want to know why you know that.
Aliens, like they're slimy.
Well, how do you know?
Because it's like half amphibian.
How do you know?
I read.
Oh, Jaxon.
All right, I'm bullshitting.
Thank you for being here today.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you for being here today. Thank you for having this conversation. I hope y'all were able to gain something from this amazing conversation today. And please, ladies, Jax, tell them where they can find you.
Oh, there we go.
tell them where they can find you.
Jaxon, man. Jaxon1616. JAXON1616 is my personal Instagram. My podcast is called One Mic Stand. It's the word 1_mic_stand_. And if you need any kind of like video production work, I do that as well. Instagram is not Jax, NOT_JAX.
Yeah, and if y'all like these videos, you have him to thank for it. super plug that is helping save me 1,000,000 hours in a day. You can find us at the Auntie Chronicles Inc. on Instagram. My personal page is at Miss Ladybug, MS Ladybug 1311. So follow us, check us out, and stay tuned for the next episode of the Auntie Chronicles. Peace.
Cheers.
Auntie.